For years, the most effective weight loss medications have all come with one big catch: a needle. But what if you could get those same really powerful results just by taking a simple pill? Well, that future isn't a what if anymore. It's here, and it is about to completely change the conversation around medical weight loss.
So let's get right to it. Can a pill you swallow actually match the power of an injection? Well, the latest clinical trials have come back with a huge yes. And this isn't just some small update. We're talking about a brand new, higher dose version of a drug called oral semaglutide, and it was designed specifically for weight loss. So just how effective are we talking? Get this. In the main clinical trial, people lost, on average, 16.6% of their starting body weight. To put that in perspective, for someone who weighs 200 pounds, that's over 30 pounds gone. I mean, these aren't just good numbers. They are right up there with the results you see from the most powerful injections out there.
Yeah, this really is a genuine no-needle breakthrough. But how did we get to this point? It's actually been quite a journey, and it all came together with a recent FDA approval that has opened this treatment up to a whole new group of people.
To really get it, you have to look at the timeline. So a lower dose version of this pill, called Rybelsus, has actually been around since 2019 for type 2 diabetes. But the real game changer just happened when the FDA approved a new, much stronger 25 milligram dose specifically for weight loss. And that approval was based directly on the results of something called the OSIS-4 trial, which showed the higher dose was both safe and incredibly effective.
The science behind how this all works is pretty fascinating. These pills basically copy a natural hormone in your gut called GLP-1. The easiest way to think of GLP-1 is as your body's built-in "I'm full" signal. It talks to your brain to tell you you're satisfied, and it also slows down how fast your stomach empties, which keeps you feeling full for a lot longer. This medicine just kind of dials up that whole natural system.
Okay, but here's the catch, and it's a big one. The amazing convenience of a pill comes with a trade-off, a very, very strict set of morning rules. And these are not just suggestions. If you don't follow them, the medication just won't work. The reason for all these rules comes down to one sciencey word: bioavailability. All that means is how much of the drug actually gets into your bloodstream to do its job. See, semaglutide is a peptide. It's a large, kind of fragile molecule that stomach acid can just chew up and destroy. So to make this pill work, you have to create this perfect little window of time for it to get absorbed properly. So what does this routine actually look like? Well, first, you take the pill the second you wake up on a totally empty stomach. Step 2, you can only take it with a little bit of plain water. We're talking just 4 ounces. No coffee, no tea, no juice. And third, this part is absolutely crucial. You have to wait for a full 30 minutes before anything else. And I mean food, drinks, or even your other medications passes your lips.
And if you're wondering why these rules are so important, just look at this number. Taking this pill with food, or even just with too much water, can cut how much your body absorbs by up to 70%. You'd basically be throwing away the dose. This isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's a non-negotiable requirement for the pill to actually be effective.
So all of this leads to the big choice for a lot of people. Do you go with a daily pill that's kind of high maintenance, or a simple once-a-week injection? Let's break down what life really looks like with each option.
The difference in your daily life is pretty stark, right? With the pill, it's a daily commitment, all built around that strict morning routine. The big upside, of course, is that it's discreet and there are no needles. The injection, on the other hand, is just once a week. You do it, and you're done. No food rules, no waiting periods. The trade-off, obviously, is that you have to be comfortable with handling and getting rid of a needle. And that no needles point? It's a much bigger deal than you might think. Research shows that up to a quarter of all adults have a real fear of needles. For them, it can be a total barrier to even starting treatment. So an oral option isn't just about convenience. It's about giving access to people who would otherwise never even considered this type of therapy.
All right, now we absolutely need to talk about the most important part of this whole conversation: safety. These are powerful medications, and they come with some critical alerts that everyone needs to understand before they even think about starting them.
And let me be perfectly clear. This is not a wait-and-see kind of situation. If you experience any of the symptoms we're about to cover, you need to call your doctor right away.
So, there are 2 major red flags you have to watch out for. The first is something called pancreatitis. This usually shows up as a severe, constant pain in your stomach that might even spread to your back, sometimes with vomiting. The second is a kidney injury, which can happen if you get dehydrated from severe nausea.
You'd want to watch for any changes in how often you're urinating or if you just can't keep any fluids down. Either of these is a medical emergency.
So, with all that said, what's next on the horizon? Because this first oral pill, well, it's really just the beginning. The next wave of innovation is already in the works.
The next generation of pills, like one called orforglipron, are actually built differently. Instead of being those fragile peptides, they're what are called small molecules. Just think of them as being tougher, more stable, so they don't need all that special treatment to survive your stomach acid. And here's the most exciting part. Early trials suggest they can be taken with or without food, which would completely get rid of that strict morning routine. That would be a huge leap forward.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's pretty clear. If a fear of needles was the one thing holding you back, a whole new era of effective treatment is now opening up. But this brings up one last, really important question. Should we be looking at these pills as some kind of magic bullet, or as one very powerful tool in a much bigger, more comprehensive health plan? Honestly, that's the most important conversation you can have with your doctor.